Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. This is Marcia Weeks, and you're watching the Marcia Weeks Show, and we're coming to you live from Barbados, beautiful Barbados, right here in the Caribbean. And if you hear an accent and it sounds a little different from a Bajan accent, that's because I am Jamaican born. I'm a true Caribbean woman, right? And I'm seeing people are already logged on. Guys, we got to share. This is a very important show that we are doing today. And we're looking all at what's happening at GIS, that's the Government Industrial Schools here in Barbados. And this is something that I believe is very important. And it is so important to us that I've dedicated this time to deal with it. So I'm going to ask you guys to share. Please share and let somebody know that we are on. Please share, please share, please share, please share, please share, and let people know. Let people know that we are on, right? This is quite an important show. Good morning, good morning. I see you are logging on. This is awesome, guys. We have with us this morning Chiaka, and a wonderful princess, wonderful queen. And she was at GIS as well. And so she's going to talk with us, and we're going to just look at some of the things that have happened over the last week or the last week and a half. It's just been action after action after action. And this show, guys, we're looking, I said to someone this morning, we're looking for a few good women. Huh? We're looking for a few good women. We're going to stand with these women. We're going to stand with OSS. All right. This is Operation Safety, and I'm going to get the last part of it. I just found them out about them this morning. But we're going to stand with them. They are the ones who brought a court case. Requesting that the girls be brought, out of the two girls that were who had left, and who have now since turned themselves in to the um, to the authorities. So OSS is asking that they be put in their custody, but they were denied that. So let's just watch a little clip on that while you share. Sharing is important. We're looking for a few good women. As I told you a couple weeks, this is a hill that I'm prepared to die on. This is an important hill, guys. Yeah, and if you're a woman, you're listening out there, this is an important show. So I'm going to ask you to share. Again, this is Marcia Weeks, and you are watching the Marcia Week show. And Shiaka is going to come to you very soon. But just let me just play a little bit of this clip.
Requested permission for Operation Safe Space to be included as part of the proceedings to act as advocates for the girls. The request was denied on the basis that it is a matter involving juveniles. Compare this to the previous decision to release all points bulletins including pictures and addresses of those same juveniles and information that they were wards of GIS in contravention of the UN Convention that governs children deprived of their liberty. We also understand that the police went back this morning to seek permission to perform vaginal exams even though Attorney Lord has made it clear that their mothers do not consent. At today's hearing, the judge requested further proof that the High Court has jurisdiction to act in the best interest of a child who is under the orders of a magistrate's court. She has asked for examples of previous cases. The matter returns to court on Thursday, May 5, 2022. The children will remain in solitary confinement at the Government Industrial School until then.
Now, guys, I'm telling you, this is groundbreaking. What is happening here, and what is so sad about this? It's we're not hearing anything from UNICEF. Hi, good morning, Mr. Hoyt. I'm going to play this again, guys, and listen to what is happening. That they have refused. They have refused for these young girls to be put in the care of OSS. and they have now they now have the girls in solitary confinement. Right, the girls are now in solitary confinement, and as of the 27th, they went to perform vaginal exams on these girls. You see, even though the parents of the girls have not consented to it. This would drive anybody mad, and I could definitely see why these girls want to break out of this kind of institution. So let's just listen to this again.
Attorney Lord requested permission for Operation Safe Space to be included as part of the proceedings to act as advocates for the girls. The request was denied on the basis that it is a matter involving juveniles. Compare this to the previous decision to release all points bulletins including pictures and addresses of those same juveniles and information that they were wards of GIS in contravention of the UN Convention that governs children deprived of their liberty. We also understand that the police went back this morning to seek permission to perform vaginal exams even though Attorney Lord has made it clear that their mothers do not consent. At today's hearing, the judge requested further proof that the High Court has jurisdiction to act in the best interest of a child who is under the orders of a magistrate's court. She has asked for examples of previous cases. The matter returns to court on Thursday, May 5, 2022. The children will remain in solitary confinement.
Guys, I mean, this is I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I'm just asking for a few good women. Guys, this matter is going back to the court on Thursday, May 5th. And we need to really rally around Operation Safe Space. Operation Safe Space, they're doing an amazing job. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. What we want to do is support Operation Safe Space, because what they're trying to do is just to treat these young women as people, as human beings. And I think that is so important. So whatever it is that we are able to do, I think that we need to all seek to get involved with these young ladies. And this morning I have with me Shiaka, and Shiaka is was actually at the GIS, and she's gonna talk to us about that this morning. Good morning, Shiaka.
Good morning, Queen.
I love that. I love when you call me queen, and I'm gonna call you queen. And I think that's I love that. That's so appropriate for what we're talking about. So, Queen, I wanted to tell me, Queen Chiaka, tell me, about your experience and as a young girl, and what led to you being brought to GIS.
Okay. Hi, good morning, guys. As Queen said, my name is Shiaka Carrington, and I have been a ward of the government industrial school. I haven't been committed, but I have been there 3 times on remand. So my situation, it started from me being molested at home. I am going to be straightforward and very frank,
Mhm.
because I think that this is a space for that, right? We need to
Yes.
be very truthful about the experiences that we had, which would lead up to, who we become as
Mm-hmm.
adults if we don't address the traumas that we
Mm-hmm.
came along with. So my father died when I was 8 years old. He was my protector. He was my everything.
Mm-hmm.
And before he died, he was aware that I had been molested by my stepfather. And so it was just so much stress, being molested, losing my father, not being able to receive the love I desire from my mother. I
Wow.
started to lash out, right? I started to fight. I
Mm-hmm.
became really, really troublesome. So it's
Mm-hmm.
only like 3 weeks ago that I realized why I became so troublesome. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I was molested, I was brave enough to tell mommy the next day, mommy, he touched me, because it happened 2 nights, right? So the first night
Mm-hmm.
he touched me, the second night he came back to touch me, but the first night I was aware something happened, and the second night I was watching to see what happened to me because I was already aware that he did something to my sister, but it was very
Mm-hmm.
hush hush.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother said to me, don't tell nobody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those were her
Mm-hmm.
words.
So your
And I
mother,
didn't
so you're saying
realize
you're
that her
so
saying, don't tell nobody.
mm-hmm. So Shiaka, you're saying that your stepfather molested you, and while you were sleeping, and you were so,
Yes,
I mean, I commend you at that age. How old you were?
I was about 8 years old.
8 years old, and you had the presence of mind to tell mommy
Yeah,
that you were molested, and mommy said, "Keep it hush."
yeah.
Okay,
So I
continue.
didn't tell my father, I didn't tell anybody. I allowed mommy to
Mm-hmm.
deal with the situation. But how mommy
Mm-hmm.
dealt with the situation, she didn't deal with it properly. So he
Mm-hmm.
was still around, and he used to, although he didn't touch me again, his
Mm-hmm.
head used to rise by the window every time I come out the bath. He used to be watching me, and I could feel the energy of him watching me, I raping me. That's what I call it,
Mm-hmm.
and literally hurting me as a child without even touching me. So this thing, like I came through my life with it because I always asked myself why my mother did not fight for me, why she
Mm-hmm.
didn't love me enough to leave him and protected me, right?
Yeah.
So like I I was really troublesome because, all right, no, I wasn't troublesome because I realized like 3 weeks ago that I got there with people looking at me and saying, "Oh my God, your life turned around so nice," and thing, and I'm like, my life ain't turn around though. Because I was
Mm-hmm.
never that person. I was being traumatized and I was being abused. So I rebelled against everybody and everything. And if I
Mm-hmm.
do something now and I get into trouble, Queen, I go in and do something worse
Right.
and get in
Okay.
more trouble and do
Mm-hmm.
something worse and get in more
Mm-hmm.
trouble. I spoke
Mm-hmm.
with the guidance counselor of my secondary school like 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I said to her, "Ma'am," she was like, "Shiaka, how you?" And I'm like, "I'm amazing." I told her I have grown into one of the most amazing individuals you could ever meet. Remember, I am the troubled child. So I
Yes.
said to her, "You was always there for me, and I just want to say thank you because you always used to protect me." I
Mm-hmm.
want to know, did I ever tell you what was happening to me at home? And
Mm-hmm.
she said to me, "No, no, I didn't, but she heard about
Mm-hmm.
it, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And this is why she always like lived that way with me and protect me because her heart went out to me. So I said, "But why you never talk to me about it? Why you never asked me what was happening?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said to me, because she is not trained to ask a person that's being molested, right? She's
Mm-hmm.
not trained to go and address it. So I'm like she said, the victim has to tell her. So I said to her, "Are you aware what goes
Wow.
on in the mind of the victim?" And
Mm.
she said to me, "It doesn't matter. She's not trained to do that." So then I started to feel some kind of resentment for her because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you were protecting me, yes, but you still let me go into the environment that was hurting me each time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the other day, it just came out clear to me because as I tell you, I was just given trouble. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say it's last day of school, I going downtown, I got my knife in my bag laying with garlic. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I going looking to juke up somebody, going looking to fight. And if I
Mm-hmm.
fight, the police gonna hold me. And you
Mm-hmm.
gotta go through the whole process. And then they gonna end up in Somerville probably for the night because this is how it played out for me. I went
Mm-hmm.
1 night, 2 months and 2 weeks, and
Mm-hmm.
then 4 days. So the two
Mm-hmm.
months and 2 weeks was the longest. I got kicked out of the secondary school by then because the guidance counselor and the principal could not protect me any longer.
Mm-hmm. So
I
let
was
me
I
ask
was
you,
brought before the
Shiaka.
board of management.
So
Mhm.
Shiaka, the challenges you were having that allowed you. to become a ward of GIS, is that you would get into trouble, and you got into trouble, you're saying, because of the molestation that you were facing in your home that started when you were 8 years old, right? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yes, please.
Wow. Wow. And
Yeah.
specifically, when you went there for the 2.5 months, or 2 months, you said 2 months and a week?
Yeah. 2 months and
Two,
2 weeks.
okay, so 2.5 months. When you were there for the 2.5 months, what exactly did you do?
Well, I used to, what I did, it's
Mhm.
like a school, right? It was like a school. But the way how we are treated, right? I can't say that all the staff bad. I can't say because
No, no.
there's one staff.
What I wanted to know
Mhm,
was what caused you. What did you do? Because what we're trying to establish here, we want people
mhm.
to understand the girls who go there, because sometimes
Right,
people just think that they're criminals. You see, and that's why I
right.
love what you're doing. You're giving us your backstory, and you're helping us to understand who is this Queen Shiaka, right? Shiaka Carrington, who was a ward of the of GIS. So I want to know specifically that time when you spent the 2.5 months, exactly what did you do that caused that?
So I got into a fight. I used to fight, as I tell you, I used to fight all my night. Yeah. So I got into a fight in town, and I
Mm-hmm.
got kicked out of school. And my mother couldn't find a school. My mother had to find a school for me to go into. I was so much trouble that no school, no government school, they don't want to take me. So I had to go
Mm-hmm.
to school at Metropolitan. But it was really
Mm-hmm.
the fighting, because I remember fighting, and I got kicked out, as I say. And because I couldn't, there was no school for me to go in, I had to be housed in the government industrial school until my mother
I
find a school for
see.
me. So that's
I
how I ended up
see.
there for two
Oh,
months
you.
and 2 weeks.
Mm-mm-mm. No, no. The thing is, someone here, Mr. Hoyt, just wrote. He said these girls are not hardened criminals, and as people
No.
are hearing your story, why Queen Shiaka, your story is so important. Is that we want the public to understand, try to understand the type of girls that are in there and their backstory,
Right.
because we only see the fruits of what they're doing, but we don't
Hmm.
understand, and like you were saying, that counselor, that guidance counselor, all through this process, did you have counseling? Did you have counseling? Did anybody were any was anybody able to pinpoint why you were a repeat offender? Anybody was able to
Nobody.
identify that?
Nobody. And I want to tell you a story, right? This will help you to understand it, because I was remanded to the QEH, the psychiatric ward in the QEH hospital one day. My
Mm-hmm.
mother took me to, my mother whisked me off to the probation office because I was always real feisty, right? And I was the type of girl that my mother, she unfair me, so I would fight her. You get me? I would fight
Yes.
her. So
And
when she want to
let me
get
just
me
say
to
this to the public.
conform to
Those who
something,
are
she would
watching,
go call the police or that kind of thing.
right. So Shiaka is saying that she would fight her mother, but you will hear that and you say, well, she's fighting her mother and whatever. If you miss the first part of her story, this is the same mother who at 8 years old, she told her mother that she was being molested, and this mother told her not to tell anybody, to keep it hush, and she never did anything serious about it. So this young lady, Shiaka, has grown up with a lot of anger. So please, let's hear the full story and understand the full background. Continue, Shiaka.
Yeah. So my mother whisked me off to the probation office, and while in the waiting area, I got up and I
Mm-hmm.
put my bag strap around my neck, and I started to pull it, and I said, I'm going to kill myself. It was more like, you hurting me and I gonna taunt you. That's what it was like subconsciously,
Mm-hmm.
right? So everybody in the probation office started running to me, and I know I got whisked off to the and magistrate the magistrate remanded me to the probation office QH, the ward in the psychiatric ward in the QH hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So it's me, my mother, and my probation officer. We were there, and my probation officer took one look at me and look at my mother and said, "She does not belong here. Take her home." My probation officer went against the crown and sent me home. I went back to court the next day and everything disappeared. Now here I am as a big woman, 32 years old, and trying to figure out why it disappeared. And explain that actually
Okay,
finding my
Shiaka,
voice.
could you hold right there?
I
It
am
seems
now
like you're
actually
breaking
in
up.
therapy from Thursday, my first session.
Seems like you're breaking up. Anybody else out there? Wayne Hoyt, can somebody tell me if you're hearing Chiaka well? Guys, if you're commenting on my personal, watching and you're commenting on my personal page, I'm not going to be able to see your comments. You would need to comment on the Marcia Week show. So you need to watch it on the Marcia Week show in order um yeah, in order for me to hear, to be able to see your comment. That's a good question. How does a child get before a magistrate and didn't commit a crime, right? A claim or a complaint, right? So here, yeah, you see, this is what is going on, Mr. Hoyt, and why it's important before we judge the girls that we understand who they are and this is a girl like Shiaka, and a lot of them, what Shiaka is saying, the lot of the problem is coming from the abuse of these girls, the abuse in their homes, whether sexual abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse of the girls in their homes, and then they are brought they're now brought to to GIS, a place like GIS, and in the system, and nobody is paying attention to the root of the problem. And this is what OSS is saying. Let us give us the girls and let us work on the girls. Let us work on them. We understand them and be able to get to the root of the problem. So we really have reform. So Queen Shiaka is back with us. Let's see if we could hear you a little better. Go right ahead. Continue, please.
Yes, please, please. All
Yes.
right. So I remember the last thing I said was I my probation officer told my mother to take me home.
Yes.
And from there everything just disappeared. The charges, the probation, like everything just disappeared. And from there I was just like a troubled child trying to sort my way out. My mother actually left me on my own. Right? So I had to be a woman from 12 years old, figuring out life and realizing that I was born into a toxic family and this
Mm-hmm.
is not me. So I have been the last 10 years, figuring out my life and actually boosting up myself and empowering myself from this situation, all the while still trying to love my mother for who she is because I believe in the energy of mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a mother of a
Mm-hmm.
16-year-old daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and I have protected my child with everything I had in me. I became pregnant at 15 years old, right? And my child father, he was 30. So really and truly, it's only as a big woman I realized, wait though. But he, like he is this the culture? You get me?
Mm.
That I'm a
Yes.
child. Why did he not say go home to your mother? Why did
Mm-hmm.
he not try to help me? Why did I end up pregnant? And I'm not saying this to blame anyone because I took responsibility of everything. All right. I
Mm-hmm.
have my own home. I have my own business. My daughter lives with me. She's also a business person herself. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So I have been
Right.
breaking down generational curses and
Yes.
rebuilding our generational
Wow.
wealth. This is how I feel. And all the while still battling with my mother, not recognizing the root of everything because I would always go to her trying to
Mm-hmm.
get her to admit to me, why
Mm-hmm.
did you not fight for me? So in 2016, when the Life in Leggings movement came up, right?
Yes.
I went on Facebook that morning and I saw everybody telling their story. And right there I felt like, you know what? This is your time to tell your story, Shiaka.
Mhm, mhm,
And I
mhm,
went and I told my story. Now all this time my
mhm,
mother still thinks that I have scandaled her name all over Facebook.
mhm,
So she doesn't think that I had a right or I have a right to speak about my traumas. She
mhm,
feels like I try to make her look bad. So I
mhm,
just want to say to the audience today, because this is to help y'all to get a wider perspective on the root of the matter. Because really and truly, if the root is rotten, everything is decaying. You get
mhm.
me? So I
Yes.
think that we deal a lot with the causes and not really, you know, the effect of stuff and not really the cause, which is really the
Mhm,
root of everything. So I want to take it back to what was revealed to me, because I'm a very spiritually inclined woman, and what was revealed to
mhm,
me, like from addressing my mother in 2016, because I went to her home after I wrote my story to figure
mhm,
out, because you know everybody's speaking now, so the energy of everything is different. It's not just me
mhm.
talking and I'm feeling alone anymore.
Correct.
Thousands of women all over the Caribbean, they're speaking about this. So
Mhm,
I
mhm,
thought now that it would have been a clear space now for me and my mother to have the conversation. So I
mhm.
went there with you know, like in a good spirit, and we
Yes.
end up in a whole do down because she was not accepting of it. So it's only in 2020 when my grandmother passed away. My mother was
Mhm,
walking me up the road and she said to me, we were talking about the people in the neighborhood who were going senile. And she said to me, you know, so and so, he's the first body that touched me. And listen, this thing hit me like a brick because she never admitted to me in 2016 anything, you know. She was telling me, oh, you always trying to handle my name. You always trying to bring me down. You the worst child I have. All these things. So I'm not saying these things to make my mother look bad either.
mhm,
And
mhm,
it's not that I am trying to protect her either, because the truth needs to be revealed.
mhm,
But it is like, you know, when she admitted in 2020, I'm like, but in 2016, I came to you and I asked you stuff, and I ended up telling my mother, listen, something happened to you, because there's no way that you ain't fight for me, right? Something happened to you and you're not talking about it. And
mhm,
2020, she admitted it to me. So 2020, so I said to her, we were in a conversation and she was like, well, I listen, I like to listen. So I said, well, thanks, you like to listen. I had something that was plaguing me ever since I needed to talk to you about. In 2016, I came to you and I brought up something. And then 2020, 4 years later, you admitted to me this thing. She said the first person, which means there are more people, right?
right.
So I said, and it took me 2 years now, because I was so shocked in 2020 when you admitted that to me. It took me 2 more years to address it, because here I am now wanting to know, like, who are the other people? Like, what is that really happened to you? Right? And my mother
Mhm,
went off again because she never wants to admit anything to me. But what I
mhm.
realized, right? This is generational. All right.
Yes.
She admitted it to me. So it means something happened to her, but she was unable to fight for herself. Why was she
Mhm.
unable to fight? Maybe her mother told her to don't say anything too. Right.
Right.
And that's
And it's
something that
passed
passing
down.
through the
Yeah.
generation.
Mhm,
Right. So maybe her mother went through the same thing. And her mother told her, don't say anything as well. You get what I'm saying
mhm.
to you. So it's
Yes.
really like a generational thing that we
Yeah.
need to look at and address the root, as I say, because
Mhm,
this thing it don't, because my mother actually behaved with me as I am the person, right,
mhm,
who created the entire situation. Well, I have little sisters. So my
mhm,
little sister under me, who is like a year older than my daughter, one day, my mother said to her, I came down with my mother, me and my daughter, and she said to my sister, said to me, sorry, talk to she. I said, about what? Tell her all the things that you do and what you went through, because she goes to the same secondary school I went to. So
mhm,
she's of the opinion that she's just like me. She started to tell the little girl she's just like me. But mind you, the little girl never saw me in the element of being troubled or anything, because
mhm,
she wasn't even born, right? So here it is now that this little girl is actually acting the same way as me. So I said to my
mhm,
mother, but here what? She's my sister. We always talk about stuff we used to do at school and we laugh about it. I said to her, you know who my story is important to? Her, my daughter. Right? I said
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing more important to a daughter than her mother's story. I said
Mm-hmm.
I got pregnant at 15 and I got the child at 16, but you too, mommy. So what you
Mm-hmm.
want me to tell my story, but you don't want to tell yours to your child. You want me to tell my
Wow.
story to my sister when you keeping it hush like you
Mm-hmm.
never did anything. So
Never.
all
You
along I
know,
believe in like I
wow.
just out the clear blue just like this real troublesome or hard ears and getting treated bad like the black sheep. And my sister who was molested, mind you, she is so dumbed down by my mother that she doesn't talk about it. She doesn't
Mm-hmm.
say anything about it. She just lives through the trauma, not
Mm-hmm.
recognizing how it is affecting her. So if I tell
Mm-hmm.
my mother, oh, we have trauma from childhood that we need to address, she's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, look at me. Nothing ain't wrong with me. And I go to
Right,
school.
right.
But she
So,
cannot
so,
recognize.
so Chiaka, here it is. I mean, I
Mhm,
think you have, I know you said you're still dealing with it, and I know you're presently in counseling, and which is
mhm,
great. But the challenge is, it's all of these other young ladies who are now in GIS, because you were, at some point in your life you were award at the GIS. You're now out and here to tell the story. You have your own, daughter who's 16 years old that you're protecting. And what I'm understanding from you, Queen Shiaka, is that the molestation really is what contributed to your behavior, and which it's what shaped you and caused you to get, be put out of your school, and you ended up for the 2.5 months in GIS. It caused you to walk around with a knife and garlic and lime. I learned something today, walking with your knife with garlic and lime, all of that. And there's some women who are watching today who themselves have been through abuse, who've been sexually abused and physically physically, emotionally abused, and that has shaped their behaviors. And these two young women that they have now, I'm sure you know of the case, Shiaka, where they are being, right now, instead of being helped, instead of being given counseling, they're now in solitary confinement at the GIS. What's your thoughts about that? Having been through all of that and experienced, everything. What are your thoughts about that?
I believe in my heart that it is wrong what they're doing to the girls. When I first heard about this situation, I told myself I would love to get my hands on these two girls. I would love to be able to get these two girls and host these two girls, and we try to figure out what is going on. So I was thinking to send out some kind of PB to get the girls to come to me when they were on the run. That's how
Mm-hmm.
I felt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Mm-hmm.
they should never treat the girls like they are criminals. We don't know what the situation is or what the situation was that has have led them to not only being in Somerville, but to be being in a situation where they want to run away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had experience. I never ran, but I have friends who ran,
Mm.
and it's for various reasons. And every time children run away from the government, I have friends who today are mental patients because they put children in the mental and give them land gatlings and turn them foolish.
Okay, you stop right there. Oh, I had just had goosebumps, Shiaka, when you said that, because I know of a young lady who her father, was molesting her, was having sex with her biological father. And what they did with that young lady was to send her to the mental as well. And so these are the issues, guys. These are the issues that we're speaking, and we want to those who are in power. And that's where I come in, and I'm saying I think that for the this Mr. Abrams, Wilfram Abrams, need to be fired. That's not what Shiaka is saying. That's what I am saying. I am saying that they need to be fired. These people in authority, we need a clean sweep of this entire system. And you are now confirming, you're saying that there are girls who are at the mental
Yeah.
because they were referred to the mental by these people in authority. Continue, Shiaka.
Yep. So I have a childhood friend who one night, I wasn't in Somerville that time. The last time I went to Somerville, she went with me. We were together when we were picked up for wandering. My mother had called the police because I didn't want to be in the house and it was out on the road after 6. I was on probation. And my mother called the
Mm-hmm.
police for me. But she wasn't in trouble. That was her first time getting into trouble. So it was
Mm-hmm.
my last time, and it was not her last time. So I never went back, but she ended up now in and out of Somerville. She even got time in Somerville. And
Mm-hmm.
she put poison in the entire pot in Somerville to kill everybody.
What?
My childhood friend. Because of her traumas and because of being there, and and she had a hard childhood. I don't know if she was molested, but I know that she was poor. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And had to
Mm-hmm.
like beg, and like mother didn't really care, or mother and father wasn't really there. So she was like one of those children that would always have it really hard.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She used to steal and that kind of thing. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying like sometimes it don't always be abuse, right? But our parents, like I think we need to look at parenting. I think
Mm-hmm.
we need to have more parenting classes and stuff from enlightened individuals, not the
Mm-hmm.
ones who have been systematically representing us for a long time. Because they
Mm-hmm.
are the ones who, if these things keep happening, who really is the problem? You get me? So
Mm.
we have to
Yes.
look at who's the problem. So why is something like this repeatedly happening and you are the head? So I fully agree with getting rid of the staff and that kind of thing. But I'm thinking that we should turn Somerville into a healing house for troubled
Exactly.
teenagers,
Exactly.
where we have where we
Listen,
share
Shiaka,
hugs
you're giving
and
me
love,
goosebumps. You're giving
right?
me
Where we share
goosebumps.
hugs and love and kisses, and let these girls know they are queens. That this is just a chapter in your book. This is not who you are as a person, and we will turn this chapter. I think
Mm.
that in Somerville we should be teaching girls how to love themselves, how to sustainably live, and when they come out from here, I can grow food and I can still survive. You get what I'm saying? I could go even if my
Yeah.
parents don't want me because of the situation, because a lot of girls don't have nowhere to go, right? After
Mm.
Somerville. So I have a
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend who she has a place where she helps sex workers. And
Mm-hmm.
we had a discussion one time about connecting the dots, because the sex workers more likely, because she tell me it was some percentage she called that most of them came out of Somerville. Most of them
Mm-hmm.
passed through the system. So
So
she said that,
hold a minute,
and
Shiaka. You are jump. Listen, this is. Did you all hear what this young lady is saying? Some of GIS. She's saying Somerville because when she went there, it was Somerville. Okay, but GIS, which is supposed to be a place of reform, Heather Cold and hers and people who are listening, guys. I am listening and trying to hold back tears. I'm full of goosebumps right here right now. And she is actually saying, telling us, guys, what has happened to a lot of these girls who have come out of that system. A lot of them are sex workers. They have turned to prostitution, which is what the people on the road told me, that there is a connection. This is not what Chiaka is saying. This is what I was told, that there's a connection with GIS and prostitution on the girls working on the streets. That it's almost like a feeding ground for them. And this is what we are trying to uphold, and this is what the minister is saying, that there's no problem with GIS. And 2 days after he said there's no problem with GIS, the two girls escaped. huh? Running
Yep.
from the situation. And now we have somebody who is connected to the girls and saying that this is heartbreaking, you Adeline. This is heartbreaking. And this is why I'm using this show to ask a few good women. Listen, we need to make some noise. May 5th is coming up, and the case is going to be brought up again. The case is coming up again where Operation Safe Space is asking for the custody of the children of these two young ladies. And Shiaka, you're talking, and I'm getting these goosebumps. It is this moment. I think this is a very important interview. Guys, Heather and the rest of you, please share. We have got to come together. If there's nothing else, we can come together on. This is so, you Darlene, I agree with you. This is so heartbreaking. It really is. Continue, Shiaka.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
yeah. So what you
Hey.
have done for me, Queen, is
Mm.
it gave me a voice today to be able to go on my Instagram and my Facebook now and create the platform of
Yes.
empowerment. And it's not, you see, as you keep saying I can't remember the name of the organization, but I'm
Operation
thinking,
Safe Space.
right. I'm
Woo.
thinking, right? Because I didn't know anything about any of these things. It's only in the last couple of days that everything has been revealing to me, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
received a call randomly this morning. I didn't even get out of bed properly. And I was told, well, here's what. I want to know if you are willing. I have this opportunity for you to song your voice. And I'm like, yeah, for sure, because I have been waiting for these moments. 2 nights ago, I received a phone call from one of my sisters who I used to sit in the sister circle. She's about to write an article in Barbados today, and she wanted to have my permission to be able to mention me, saying that, I have been a ward of the government industrial school as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
Queen, I know that this is very revolutionary. The revolution has begun where, we are going to transform. This is only the beginning, right? We're going to
Listen, you're
transform
you're
this.
talking, Shiaka. There is something happening with this because this morning, kid you not, young lady. When I spoke with you, I heard I was in the kitchen and I heard now after today she's gonna be able to do her platform, and now I hear you say it, and I
Yeah,
just wanted to confirm that, and I only heard your voice, and I heard that come to me, and I didn't say anything to you, and that this coming on this show is going to release you to begin to set up your platform. But what we want to do, Shiaka, is to work together.
yes,
I want us to work together with Operation Safe Space. They are out
sure.
there, and they're at the tip. So your platform needs to be connected to Operation Safe Space. I don't
For
know the people,
sure.
and I
For
don't
sure.
need to know them. The point is that
Mhm.
this needs to happen. Somebody here just said we should have a Mother's Day demonstration. I believe
For
so.
sure.
I think that it is once those children are remaining in solitary confinement, I believe every mother in Barbados need to get up on Mother's Day and we need to demonstrate. I
Yes.
believe that. I believe that it is this is so important. To Child's Month start tomorrow. Child's
Mm-hmm.
Month start tomorrow. This should not be allowed to happen. This place they need to transform GIS. GIS
Yeah.
need to be totally transformed. You know, and listening to you,
For
I
me,
just am
Queen,
getting goosebumps. Go ahead.
I deal with a lot of affirmations and that kind of thing. So as I say, this happening today. 2 nights ago, I receiving a call from my sister saying, "Well, I wanna, and like 2 weeks ago, I've been calling, I've been saying, I asked Spirit to help women to song their voices, right? And call names beyond recognition. Like we don't care anymore. Be authentic and real about it. I've been asking for these things, right? So for me, I started to see things happening after me asking, and everything is slowly brewing up, but it is happening. Slow growth is growth. You get me? So just
Yes.
here talking to you today is showing me that something is happening. and I will join hands with whoever is out there,
Yes.
whatever organizations are out there, because I didn't know of any. The first woman I spoke with, like about a week ago, I spoke with
Mm-hmm.
the first woman who I heard the same energy that I have been living with. I heard from her.
Mm-hmm.
The first woman. I've never
Mm-hmm.
heard no other woman speak like this particular queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fighting for women. Yes, I came across a lot of women, even the Life in Leggings movement, because me, the sister that reached out to me 2 nights ago, I had reached out to her about 3 weeks ago, but her mother was here and she's also
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican born. Her mother was here from Jamaica. So when I called her, I was having like a trigger slash epiphany, and I
Right.
needed to speak with her, but because she was busy, she didn't get to talk to me. So when she did reach out, I was busy again with my work, so I didn't get to talk to her. But it's just so amazing how she reached out to me 2 nights ago, and I was able to tell her, listen, this is the reason why I've been reaching out to you. And the reason why I
Mm-hmm.
was reaching out to her is because I went and I did some research on the Life in Leggings movement and stuff, and I wanted to know what became of that movement. Who really hushed the girl? So the lady was showing me, based on the Life in Leggings movement in Jamaica and other places in the Caribbean, how they were hushed up, how their children were taken away from them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
different things that happen in
Listen,
fighting for the
we
rights
need
of
to
women.
listen. Shiaka, I tell you this: the Life in Leggings. She was supposed to have come on last week and supposed to have come on today, and she's
Mhm.
not well, and so she sent me some, some information. So actually, I have one of what she sent me here that I'm going to, going to play. So just so she's something on the GIS school. So just pardon me and let me play that since you mentioned them. Okay.
Sure. Thank you, Queen.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. I'm not sure why it's not playing, not getting the audio on it, but it's telling you about the Barbados worst kept secret is the GIS. So let's just go back and read what it is saying. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so here it is, but unfortunately the audio isn't playing on it. But we can read, we can read. It's saying that the GIS, the bar is Barbados' worst kept secret. The government industrial school is a state facility housing children in need of care and children in conflict with the law. In March 2021, a whistleblower leaked a picture of a naked girl child in a cell to expose the continued use of solitary confinement. And we must remember, Queen Shiaka, that the girls are in solitary confinement. The two young girls that turned themselves into the police, they are now in solitary confinement. In March 2020, there was a public outrage. The whistleblower was terminated, and the minister promised a full investigation on April 16, 22. Two girls fled the facility alleging abuse at the hands of the caretakers. It says, let me remove that so we can actually see. At their alleging abuse at the hands of their caretakers. Okay, and so this is why the girls are there. So let's look at the timeline. April 16, two girls, they flee the facility. Their faces and addresses are circulated in bulletins in contravention with the rules of children deprived of their liberty. They are hunted like hardened criminals. This is what happened April 16th, this month, here in Barbados. And this is why we're saying there are human rights violation, and we really believe there need to be an external investigation into the GIS. Okay, right? Neither of the children, neither child is in conflict with the law. However, they're being treated as criminals. And we would have heard from Shiaka today. Shiaka outlined why she ended up in there, because she was being abused at 8 years old in her home. And her mom did not attend to it. Okay. And that's how she ended up there. And majority of the children, that is what is happening to them, a majority of the girls. So we're not looking at the root of the problem. We're treating them like criminals. On April 26th, a few days ago, Attorney at Law Anya Lord is retained as counsel and notifies the police that they will be turning the young girls will be turning themselves in. Right? Okay, at 2 p.m., documents are filed in support of a constitutional motion against GIS. Attorney Lord attempts to contact the judge, but the duty judge, but no answer. 4:30 p.m., the girls and their mothers drive to District E police station. One of the girls at 5 p.m. is intercepted by the police and taken into custody. So there again, they're being treated as criminals. And we would have heard Shiaka so beautifully laid out for us her backstory for us to understand these girls are not criminals. At the station, the attorney lord advises the police that they do not consent to a vaginal examination, a vaginal examination. Okay. However, we would have seen that that's exactly what the police did. The police informed the attorney lord and their mothers that a vaginal exam is standard procedure. One officer also informed that as the children are wards of the court, only the principal of GIS can decide whether the children are examined or not. The parents have no say. Being wards of the court does not negate parental rights. These are the things that we need to look at, and this is why I say, unless this situation is resolved and unless we have external investigation, Mr. Wilfred Abrams need to resign now. Need to resign now. We need a few good women to raise their voices. He has to go. Despite their attorney's best attempts, the girls were returned to the facility last night. It's at this point confirms the whistleblower that the solitary confinement begins. So they are now put in solitary, and you are listening, and you could go ahead and you could judge the girls because they're not your children. That's the thing about it. They are not your children. And that's what we tend to do. When it's not our children, we shut our mouths and we have nothing to say. Well, I don't have physically have any girl children. All my children are boys. But I'm telling you, this is a hill that I am prepared to die on. Do you understand? This is very, very important. Enough is enough. Hashtag protect our girls. Enough women. There are enough women in this country to rise up. Right? On April 27, Queen Chiaka, 1:20, the hearing to determine if the girls will spend another night in solitary confinement. Right? This is what has happened, and we can tell you that the girls are now in solitary confinement, guys, and these are troubled girls. They're troubled girls. Shiaka has so eloquently explained to us today, what has happened to a lot of these girls and why they're there, and that many of them, when they have left there has been absolutely no reform for them. A lot of them are in the mental institution. A lot of them have turned prostitutes. Huh? So a place like GIS, it need to burn down. It need to burn down. They need to burn it down, fire everybody, get rid of it, and come up with a proper program. This is unacceptable. Human rights violation is what's happening up at GIS. And the minister needs to resign. He's trying to protect his job at the expense of the lives of these girls. Huh? A lot of them are suicidal. Shiaka told us about her trying to commit suicide. Huh? The girls were not given any medical attention, but the police ready to go up and to look up in their vaginas. That is what they did. Huh. Anyway, Shiaka, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. I know we've taken up so much of your time, Queen. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Huh? Women, I need a few good women. Come on, guys. This is a hill that we need to decide we will die on this hill. It will not continue to happen in this country.
Ashe.
It cannot, Shiaka. We cannot sit down and let this continue. Tomorrow is the first of Child's Month. I am looking for a few good women. There are women in this country with influence. And because it's not your children, you're going to turn a blind eye. And because we want to judge these girls, huh? No medical attention, no, sitting down with a counselor, understanding they are not criminals, they did not commit any crimes. But you're ready to open up their vaginas and searching them. Huh? Is this slave? You think this is slavery? Shiaka, what else do you want to say to the people? What do you want to see up there at GIS?
I would love to see the government industrial school turned into a healing house, because it's still going to take some time for this true intervention to happen, where we can see that they're not bad girls, but they are girls in need of love, right? So we could turn that whole government industrial school into a healing house, where we have staff to love the girls and be there for them to handle themselves when they come out into the world after they have met such a brutal situation. Everybody's not abused at home, but majority of us is, because this is the culture of Barbados. So this is why a lot of people don't be speaking up, because when I speak up and I call somebody name, is some prominent person in society, and I can cause some kind of shame. So this is why people don't speak
Mm-hmm.
up, right? But I know that this is the beginning of something new. I know that a revolution has begun. I know
Yes.
that
Mm,
our voices will be heard. I know that we will connect with powerful women who
mm.
will help the movement to be pushed forward, because I too am willing to die on the hill for this movement.
They,
I have a daughter and I
mhm,
have to protect her. It is my divine right to protect her, right? And and she probably will give me granddaughters where I have to protect them too. I have to be present for them. And I believe, right? I want to say this. If we don't speak our truths, if we don't speak about the things that are hurting us, they turn into sickness and disease. So when we look into society and we see how many people are sick, then we realize, not all the time, but then we realize, maybe they are holding some kind of truth. They don't even know how to speak. You get me? So I would love to see a true intervention happen, and I know it is happening. So I am just going to sit back, observe, do the work that I have to do, be present when I need to, because this platform has created the space for me to be able to do this from today, right? So I know, Queen, something is about to happen. Beautiful, amazing, abundantly,
mhm,
like different for these girls and
mhm,
all the other girls, because this can't keep
mhm,
happening. It will never keep
mhm.
happening, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Oh,
that's
wow.
my take on it, and I'm really grateful for everybody that took the time today to listen. I'm grateful for
Mm-hmm,
everybody that took the time to not only listen but comprehend what was being
mm-hmm,
said here today. Right? Because you can listen, but if you don't comprehend the message, and I know that there are a few people who are on here today who has had a similar experience, who when I speak about what is hurting me, it has really helped them to realize their situation and to see that, oh my God, this is what happened to me, or help shine some kind of light on them to reveal the truth to them. And I know that this interview today will help somebody to be stronger and bolder to tell their story. So
Mm.
that's my take.
Queen, you gave me. I'm just having goosebumps, guys, listening to her, and I'm literally trying to hold back tears. I am, because I know that if it wasn't for the grace of God, Chiaka, I could have ended up, in a situation like that. My son asked me this morning, Mom, were you in a home like that in Jamaica? And I said no. And it's just the grace of God, because it wasn't sexual abuse, in my case, but it was physical abuse. And you start to lash out, and people, we don't see that we're hurting, that the young girls are hurting, and thinking that we judge them, is what I'm trying to say. And I know the mentality here, is that we love to pass judgment. We love to say, and oh, they're bad, and they this, and in Jamaica they say they're leg beasts, and they this, and they give in trouble, and then you need to go down there and whatever. And we don't realize, Shiaka, that what are we doing? What we're pushing them away from us. At 8 years old, we needed to hug you as a society, Shiaka. I want to
Exactly.
apologize to you. I
Thank
apologize to
you.
you today. I say, as a society, Shiaka, we are sorry. We're sorry. We did not do the right thing. We should have
Yes, ma'am.
embraced you. We should have hugged you. We should have brought you close. We didn't know what we did as a society. We created a prison and put you in when you didn't
Yes.
do any crimes. And and some of them down there have been through such a hardship. I've heard from people who have said they've seen people being tied up and left in a room. And some of the girls have gone to the mental. Some of them are prostitutes. The people on the road are saying that that is what is happening to the girls, that they are connected to a prostitution ring, that's connected to the people in GIS. We need an investigation. We need an investigation. So, Shiaka, I thank you so much, my sister, for coming on, and continue to take care of your daughter. People are saying thank you. Mr. Wayne Hoyt is saying thank you. Nick Lechef is saying thank you. People are saying thank you for sharing your story. And listen, you have to come back on. You have to come back on Wednesday. We're going to have some good women on the show. Some of you are listening. We're gonna come on the show, and I'm telling you, let this be the hill. Put aside red, blue, orange, and all of those political colors. Can we do that for once? Can we do that for once? Could that actually happen? Right? Yeah? That's right, Marcia Brandon. We don't know how to value our black skin. She says, Marcia Brandon, she's Jamaican. She said, we don't know how to value our black skin. We hurt up one another too much. Shiaka, we should have embraced you. She said, I so agree with the sister. We need healing. We need love in our hearts. I'm exhausted from the constant fight just to get people to treat each other well. Just do unto others. Huh? This has to stop. And if the minister cannot hear us, and at this point, if he's tone deaf to say there's nothing wrong, he's basically saying there's nothing wrong. And 2 days the girls escape and saying that they're being abused down there, and we are going to continue going to supermarket, going to fetes, going to parties, fixing up our hair, fixing up our nails. And women, we're going to continue cook big feast, cook this, cook that, continue on like nothing is a matter. It won't happen. As Shiaka is saying, and I'm feeling it too. This is a new day. Shiaka is feeling it, and I'm feeling it. Mm? This is a new day. This is a new day. Chiaka, thank you so much. And please feel free to come back on. We're going to be on Wednesday with Veronica Price. We'll be on, and I'm just going to call up a couple women. And come on, guys, let's come together. And we need to send a one message. One message we're sending. We're not divided. We're going to help Operation Safe Space. We don't need to know those women. They're sticking their necks out and their money out. They hired a lawyer. So come on, guys. We don't need to know them. To hire a lawyer is not 2 cents. Okay? So we are going to join up with them. Operation, I think the woman is Marsha Hines, is one of them, from my reading. And that's what we're going to do. So Shiaka, thanks again. God bless you. And hope to see you soon.
Thank you to Queen Mother. And I want to say one more thing before I go.
Yes.
Marsha Hines was mentioned to me 2 nights ago. I never heard
Mm,
about her, but she was mentioned to me 2 nights ago. Somebody's going to share her contact with me. She's one of the, as I heard, she's one of the lone people out there fighting for the rights of
yes.
women and
Yes.
stuff. You know, so
Yes.
I just said that to show you how everything is connecting. So thank you very much, Queen Mother, for giving me the space to be able to speak my story today. I am very, very, very grateful for that. You take care,
Wow.
and I'll be on Wednesday for sure.
Yes, yes. Come back on Wednesday. God bless you, Shiaka. God bless you. Listen, guys, this is I don't know how, if you're able to go back into your Saturday like nothing happened. I don't know how you're going to be able to continue like you never heard this today. There is no way that we are going to continue like this never happened today. You can't unhear it. You heard it, folks. That place need to their serious reform or burn it down. It's a waste of time. We are producing what? Prostitutes. That's what the taxpayer money is being used for, to produce prostitutes. This is crazy. This is nonsense. Huh? It's a simple thing. I know of another organization, Marcia Brandon, another organization, two African brothers who went to the magistrates about 10 years ago and said, give us the young people, let us work with them. They were working, they had many people who were going to support them, and nothing came out of it. This is when David Thompson was alive, and he was for it. Let's try something else, and we don't want to try something else. Is this working? We need to ask the government, is this working? It's not just this government. This has been going on from when? In Jamaica we'd say oi oi when. So there's no need for the minister to come out and lie, trying to save his hide, because it's not just him. It didn't start with Wilfred Abrams. This has been going on for whether BDQ, whatever. Huh? This is wrong, guys. This is not the purpose of why that institution was created. And if it is not happening, shut it down. Burn it down. Huh? Over 35 years, Mr. Hoyt is saying that this nonsense is going on in GIS. Every living person that I have spoken to in Barbados since I started doing this show about 2 weeks ago, it confirms what the girls are saying to me. And you're going to tell me that this tone deaf minister, tone deaf, is the same minister that was tone deaf to the people in St. John. You remember that water thing, telling the people, oh, about your water bill would reflect whatever, when the people not even getting water. Tone deaf. And trying to hide his behind, talking about there is no problem down there. Where are the women? Where are these women? Where are the women today? Where are the women today? This is a hill. This is the hill that we have to say, listen, we going to die on this hill. Yeah? And anybody want to go out there, Mother's Day, we're going out and let them lock us up. Huh? Let them lock us up on Mother's Day. Let them lock us up on Mother's Day. And this is the thing I don't listen, because a lot of you love to say you're going to do this, and when you turn and look behind, none of you there. You could unhear what you hear today. Ask yourself that question, guys. Don't be like that tone deaf minister, tone deaf Abrams, and the tone deaf board. Fire them. Remove them. Take the girls out of there. The program is not working. What part of that you don't understand? And I'm this riled up about it because I remember with the girls when I did the movie Hush. I remember what Shiaka is saying today. I remember those girls, and nothing was done for them. I did 3 retreats and brought in a psychologist and brought in counselors, right? I brought in people from a church. I brought in professionals. We fed them. We took them to a hotel. We give them manicure, pedicure, gift basket. We tried everything to show love to those girls. We need more of that. And come off of this thing with these colors. We're done with them colors. No more these colors, whether orange, green, red, whatever, blue, because none of it working for us. Look at our girl children. Huh? Listen, guys, so the next couple minutes, I put those of you who are watching on the Marcia Week show, I put a link there. Do I have a few good women who jump on this link this morning? It's now going into afternoon. We have another 15 minutes. Who are the few good women will jump on this link this morning? Heather Cole, are you there? Are you there? Heather Cole. Who are the few? You don't have to show your face. But I'm getting sick and tired of this, and the government needs to know. You in office know you didn't create the problem. To say that this government created the problem would be a lie. You didn't create the problem, so come on. Use this moment and do something good now, instead of hiding and pretending that it don't exist because you're trying to say to make sure you say you're doing a good job, and the children running away from you. Huh? They're putting them a runway, and you're telling me that it's paradise. Huh? So it must be paradise. So how they running from paradise? You're treating them so good up there, and everything is so wonderful up there. Huh? Everything is so wonderful up there, right? They finish now, and you don't take them to see a doctor. You don't take them to a place. You don't. The link is right there. Heather, you need to make sure you're watching. You're watching from the Marcia Week show. I will send it to you as well, Heather, by your cell phone, because I have your phone. I have your WhatsApp information. Yeah. But guys, no. This is off. This is off. Huh? This is not working. Yeah, this is not working. And we need a few good women to stand up here and speak out about this. And there's no justice in this country. There is absolutely no justice. We don't have any constitution. Let's start there. There's no constitution, right? Legally, we're not operating correctly, right? We're not operating correctly constitutionally, and so anything can go. All these judges, every time a case comes up against the government, they throw it out. They rule against it. They throw it out. Huh? So what's going to happen May 5th in this country? Huh? When this case comes around again, what is going to happen? There needs to be advocacy. Yeah? The laws are outdated. Huh? Yes, Rosina, I agree with you. Because they don't want it fixed. There's a system that is in operation. It's archaic. It's old. It does not work. And over 10 years ago, David Thompson, he agreed to a program. He agreed to a program that would, what, the girls didn't have to go down there. Yes, I was told about that. And what has happened to that? The people are still there. Huh? The people are still there. The program's still there. Written. The proposals are still there. And nothing was ever done. Yeah, nothing was ever done. But they get them back, and all they want to do, they take them back, solitary confinement, decide that they're gonna what? Gonna search their vaginas. Huh? What is a crime? What is a crime? You have to, Kerry. Yes, Kerry. Action is needed. Action is needed. Action is needed. Action is needed. Huh? There's so many educated people in this country. Come on, women. Women. A few good women. Where are you today? Can you unhear this today? You go back and go on to drink your whatever, go shopping, and you go on, and you're doing your nails and your hair and your smoothies, and you're back to this life. How could you unhear this? You're part of the system. You're part of the system if you're going to hear this and do nothing about it. And I don't care if you never watch this show again. You're part of the system. If you hear this today and you do nothing about it, you're part of the system, because I guarantee you, if it was your child, you would be saying something else. See? But that's how we get. When it has nothing to do with our children, right? We turn a blind eye and we judge. And we judge. That's what we do. And that's why I don't need to know the people from Operation Safe Space. I don't need to know those women. These two women, they're sticking their neck out. And that's all that matters. They have hired a lawyer. It's not 2 cents for a lawyer. Huh? So I will stick my neck out with them too. Yeah. So those of you, let me know if you're coming in and sharing your thoughts and your ideas. And I'm specifically calling in women today. We've been having the men have come in. Heather, it's sent to you, and you don't have to show your face. You can be like Shiaka and turn off your camera. Right? You can turn off your camera. Okay? Someone is calling me. Don't Okay, don't call the phone. You can't call the phone because I'm on the live right now. What you can do, you can come on, right? Mr. Hoyt, what Mr. Hoyt is saying, that person with fresh and new ideas and thinking don't or never have a seat at that lofty table, correct? Yeah, because they choose their friends and people with archaic ideas and old ways of thinking. Yeah. And we have to look out for our boys. We are right now, I know we are working on something with some boys. We have a young man that we're trying to take care of from one of these communities as well, and try to protect, hopefully that he doesn't end up there. We've had to step in, my husband and I, and stand in the gap, as they would say, for this young man, so that he didn't end up at Dodds, and so we've got to, and this is not something, I don't do this because it's a show. This is what I do. It's my life. This is, I told you how we had the retreat for the girls. The guidance counselors gave us these girls. They gave us the girls that were behaving the worst in school. And what happened, it turns out that all of those girls are girls that were sexually abused. When are we going to get it? When are we going to get it? And when I tried to speak about it, they said that I was telling lies. That's what they said. The newspaper, look, go back and check the Nation newspaper. Yeah, check the Nation newspaper about 13, 14 years ago. I was called a liar. Huh? Just as though Shiaka was trying to speak up, telling her mother, and the mother tell her to hush. That's why I had the Hush movies. That's why it's called Hush. Because they're trying to put a hand over your mouth to tell you don't speak. And women, we're going to speak today. Right? Rosina says our society is still very patriarchal, so women still feel threatened and scared to come out and assist and speak out. We need more men on this platform to assist the women fix this problem. I think that we have the support. We have the support of men. There's some men there. Emmanuel on his show, Politically Incorrect, has done such an amazing job. You have Lumumba and Emmanuel. They designed a program years ago for these girls. So I know that there are men there. There is Alex Mitchell, who was on the show. There's Steve Moore, and the list goes on. Mr. Hoyt. There are lots of men that are against what's going on. I think though that women, we need to come in solidarity. We know how to do that. Women, we can do it. We can do it. And if all of us come together, whether it's from B, D, whatever party, let it not be about party. Let it not be political. Let this be something that we're doing together as a people, as a group of people, and letting them know reform is necessary. Right? We're not going to continue in a Barbados where we're treating our girls in such an inhumane way. It's clearly human violations here, human rights violations. And UNICEF, where's UNICEF in all of this? Huh? Where is UNICEF in all of this? Yeah. This is something that we need to look at this. Let's just look at this little video here, guys. Let's look at this. Let's take it back and look at it. Look at it. Right? So three GIS girls on the suicidal watch. Let's take it back. Let's take it back and look at it. Huh? Do you think that this is not today? That is. I can't see the date on my screen properly. So let me just take just look at my phone where this was sent to me this morning. Huh? Three girls on the suicide watch. Huh? That was in the date is not clear on here, but that looks like it was in 2002. Yeah. So it's not yesterday. Huh? It's not yesterday that this is happening. Hold a minute. Is this today? Hold a minute. This is today? Anybody can see properly? Is this today? Huh? Y'all need no, people. Girls, listen. I didn't even realize that it's today. This is the Saturday Sun. Oh Lord. No man. No man. No man. No. Mm-mm. No, sir. No. No. Uh-uh. No. No. What? 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 Yeah, no man. This is mad thing, man. This mad. This can't. This. I don't. No. No. Mr. Hoyt, you knew that this was today. I thought this was. I look on the thing and realize this is today. Mr. Hoyt, Mr. Hoyt, come in here, man. Come take the link and come in. Anybody, man or woman, come into this link here today because I don't even know. I lost for English right now. Can you take the link and come on, please? Because this here. I tell you all, there is no way you could see this today. There's no way you're gonna see this today. All right? And unsee it. You're gonna be judged for what you have seen and heard today. Huh? They're on suicide watch. Mr. Abrams, you need to vacate your office today. Three of the seven girls at the government industrial school are now at the psychiatric hospital under suicide watch, while another has been taken to the QEH hospital. What more do we want? I don't understand. This is getting to me now. I don't know what more we don't understand about this situation. This is out of hand. There are seven girls at the GIS, all right? And three out of the seven girls are on suicide watch, right? And the fourth one has been taken to the QEH. So the four out of the seven girls, right? You have seven persons in your care, and four of them suicidal. I mean, three suicidal, one is at the QEH. And you're going to tell me, you want to tell me that everything is fine down there, and this minister must continue. This minister, you lied, sir. You lied. They're so happy. That's what. And what is the solution to this? No, man. This thing serious, man. This thing is a serious thing, man. It's gonna take other women. It's gonna take the other women, women, a few good women, a few good women. Where are you? Correct, Sonia. More than half, more than 50% of the girls are suicidal. Wilfred Abrams is nowhere to be found. He has no comment. In all of these instances, no comment, but you did come and put your big face, come on the sitting and put your big face in the people newspaper. Huh? You come sit down with your big face on the newspaper talking about oh, everything is okay. Everything is okay there. So how come we don't see you now? We don't open your big mouth and talk now. I better come off this live here because I am getting this is annoying me. And that's what I don't like about this place. I'm going to be real with you all today. I listen. I'm not saying I don't like Beijing, but I have a problem living here. I love you guys, but I have a problem living here because of things like this. This, Kerry, it is sickening. There has to be some kind of national outcry. There has to be. The place, Kerry, the place won't lock down. Won't burn up, show a firebomb in there. with the people, take the people out and burn it out. This cannot, huh? Them on suicide watch? This cannot be, folks. You can't unsee this today, ladies. Carrie, you can't unsee this today. Michelle, you can't unsee this today. Sonia, we can't go back to what we've been doing normally today. Impossible. I'm busy trying to get do the children with CXC, but it can't happen. We gotta come a meeting. We're gonna come together. We have to come together on Zoom. We have to come together, folks. We need to meet about this. Check my page. Check the Marcia Weeks page. And when you see the meeting, tell the women to come on. It can't happen, so. And we are going to join. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We're going to join up with Operation Safe Space. Huh? You want this? You want them to kill off themselves? I didn't even know. I saw the thing. I thought this was something that occurred a while ago. Because I got it just before I came on the show. I didn't get a chance to read it. Right? Look at this. No. Mm-mm. 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 No. No. I am so glad. Thank my son for putting this up for me, and Mario for putting this together for me, Mario. Thank you. Um mm, Listen, the child care agency says that their hands are tied in the GIS matter. Oh no, don't even I can't even think of no English word to style you all. Because this is getting to me now. Huh? The link is right here. I need to come off of this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to I might speak in some words that when I go into my raw Jamaican, you might not understand one word I am saying today, and I'm vexed. I upset. And let me tell you, if I don't want to even go into my, if I go into this is you can't unsee this. You can't go and eat your Sunday dinner like nothing. You can't go about your place and your shop like nothing is a matter. It can't continue like this. This year cannot continue. I cannot find the English anymore. Huh? I can't find the English anymore. Come in here, Steve and Alex, and help me because I cannot find no more English.
Marcia, good evening. Or good afternoon. Listen to
Good
me.
afternoon.
What is going on in Barbados won't be surprised if Barbados had laws and the government didn't circumvent the constitution, where there's no constitution. So you can see that there's no care towards nobody in Barbados, the younger generation, or no one. And it's becoming more of apparent that nothing that these people say in government is far from the truth. They're all liars. All right. And they are hurting our younger generation. Our younger generation should mean more than anything else. Because as I said already on this show, the younger generation are the saints and the angels of this planet, and the demons are trying to destroy the younger generation. You know, it's now this has been going on for a couple of years now, big in social media. But the problem is 90% of the people in Barbados know that this sort of behavior is being happening to the youngsters in these so-called government industrial prisons. You know, it's time for people to start calling it out for what it is and stop. Bajans need to stop sitting on the bloody fence. For too long, they've been sitting on the fence. What are they going to do? Wait till the destruction to say, oh man, my biggest regret is I should have get up and speak up. I should have stand up. Huh? You gotta stand up. Get off the fence, Barbados. Find yourself a cause, Barbados. Rally around them young girls there, rally around them youngsters there. And help them youngsters. Are you going to let this continue? This has been dragging on now for 2 years, just like COVID. How long is it going to drag on to next year? But ain't got nothing to do with me. It's not my child. How ignorant are you? How ignorant or brainwashed or totally retarded are you? You know, this is beyond ridiculous.
I tell you, Steve, my head is so hot right now, right? That I'm lost for words. And I'm saying
No,
that we're going to be judged for this. That's all I can say. And
damn.
I tell you, this here, you see how we were led to deal with this topic here. And
Oh,
I'm
yes.
telling you that you know, Alex, is this Alex Mitchell is on?
Yeah.
Alex,
Can you hear me?
what can you say, Alex? Yeah, because I don't have
Can you
any
hear
more
me?
words. Yeah, I'm here.
Um, it's quite amazing that every turn that this government make is a wrong turn. What is it about these so-called highly elected, highly educated, caring,
Mr.
steering
Mitchell.
the course? Wait a minute, steering the course people that they can't get nothing correct, right? All of this leads down to the road that they want these children to be gone because, as far as they're concerned, there was one, there was two, now there's three. We got to wait for number four. Anytime they want to speak up, where's the help that they're supposed to get? Where's the help? How was this help brought to them? If you still have people flirting with them, carrying on with them, because the workers or the security guards are not behaving professional, they need to be removed.
No, they need to be locked up.
Everyone in that building need to be removed. They're the ones who need to be on suicide watch because they're over the age of 18. Sit them, interrogate them, get affidavits from them, find out what the problem is, which they know what the problem is, and they should be working only on a solution, not keep stoking the fire. They want to push these girls and damage them long term by even saying, "Oh, she has a mental history. She was up in Black Rock, you know, or she was up in Dodds." So is this what they're gonna put on their digital ID? That this is where they were. These were the drugs that were on, or you got to look out for her. You can't hire these people. They're damaged for life, and the things that they're accusing people of mistreating them in all types of ways, is this the life that they're gonna lead because that's the only thing that they learned?
Well, I must say,
the people that is there right now. I mean, how is it that they didn't need any psychological? They needed to be a GIS. That's what they say. And as soon as they go back, all of a sudden now they need to be at Black Rock. If their family or parents or who was their figure that they need to be at Black Rock, they might have took them straight to QEH, and then QEH probably would have took them to Black Rock if they were in that such a bad condition. How did their condition escalate to Black Rock? How did the third person now get to be joining them at Black Rock? Is this a threat for the other ones? If you don't behave yourself, they're gonna put you on Black Rock and they're gonna give you all kind of drugs. You're gonna lose your mind, gonna be jelly in your head, and nobody's never gonna believe anything that you got to say because you're now being stigmatized as being up at the mental.
And let me say something, Alex. You mentioned a correct word, stigmatize. And Barbados got a history of stigmatizing each other into silence. The nonsense have to stop, you know. And as I said before, if there's no constitution in Barbados, you can't be passing laws without a constitution. And all of this heads to the minister that none of these ministers in Barbados right now held a viable position. Their all position is untenable. Every one of them, even the lower courts and so on, is untenable. They all are feeding people an illusion, and the illusion just people should stop buying. You understand? These young ladies should never be in this position that they are. They're supposed to be safe and secure. They run from the lion, but then the parents return them back to the lion. How silly are these people? The courts in Barbados is not designed to help our youngsters. They're not designed to help nobody in the country, as a matter of fact. And the judges know it, the lawyers know it, and they are taking full advantage of it.
I tell you guys, I have not been, I don't think the only time I believe I was like this was about the nurses. And and but this one here cut deep. And I don't understand what else we need to see. It is a sad place, yes, Mr. Hoyt, and I believe this is a place that needs to be burnt down and
Marcia Davis,
something
but
else put in its place.
I mean, just in the wording, I'm looking because I was here on another show, and I was watching you on and off when I wasn't speaking, and I just came on here and I said, "Look at this, three. You got GIS, you got GIRLS, right? You got the same letters in GIS as in girls. So what are they waiting for next? Rest in peace? Is that what they waiting for these girls now to have that I to match up with the three-letter thing that they got here?
But
They,
you know the thing about it, and I'm hoping that the women that are watching are not that we won't wait until they die till they kill themselves. Is that what
no, I,
is
I
that what we're waiting on? Hold a minute there, Alex. I want to ask those who are watching. Is that what we're waiting on before we begin to put our voice in this? Is this, are we waiting, or are we going to and even when they go ahead and they kill themselves, they say, oh well, they give too much trouble. And we want to get rid of them? Is that what we're trying to do? Is this like people coming over and you throw all the dirty things underneath the bed and pretty up the place? Is this what we're doing here? Or are we waiting for them to kill themselves?
the girls are set up and put in this position so that if they cause their own demise or somebody else caused it, they already put in place the standard operating procedure, the same procedure they use when they arrest or kidnap people off the street and they end up dead in police stations. Nobody don't go to jail. Whether a policeman shoot you and your father and kill your father, they drag out the case for years and then say there was no wrongdoing. So when it comes here, that is giving them an alibi to say that there's no wrongdoing. They didn't die at GIS, they was over at the mental, and they just keep moving them on and then revert the blame back onto the children. So I don't know how their condition could get to that point, because if they really wanted to run, they could have jumped out the car away from their mother or whoever they was with. But they're not running away from those people. They're running from the people who's supposed to help them. So you know something is wrong. So they just put them in the next line to justify to close the case. Oh, they'll do a troubled children, put them in GIS, they run away. And then once we got them back, we examine them, and then we throw them over. Like they're always moving from place to place. All right. What's the way they begun? They begun at home. Maybe they went to school. Maybe they got picked up by the police. Maybe they went to the courts. Maybe they end up in GIS. After GIS, they run away. They get grabbed or picked up by the police or returned back to the police. They return them back to GIS. Then before they can get settled where they are, they put them in another vehicle. Whee! All the ambulance, maybe that's what I hear driving by me. And they put them in these ambulance and speed them over to Black Rock one at a time to make it seem, wait a minute, if you got 3 people in 3 days or 2 days that's leaving your facility and are running to Black Rock or being taken to Black Rock, what is wrong? That means that GIS is not the cure for them.
Correct, Alex. And that is what we had a young lady on who was a ward of GIS, and that's what she's saying. She's saying it's not the right, what the programming that they have there for them, what they're doing there, it's not right and it's not working.
It
That's
wasn't intended to
exactly
work.
what she's saying.
It was not intended to work. It's a holding facility.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the correction? Where's the therapy? That's the word that needs to be used. They need therapy. Who's their therapist? Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting that. They're not getting the counseling that they need. You get, like I said, I've been to one of those places before while I was looking around, and everybody in there was just sitting around like they ain't got nothing to do. No computer, no laptop, no phones, no movie. I didn't see anything. What is there for recreation? Volleyball, netball, basketball. What do they have? I didn't see anything. I'm not saying that there isn't there or it wasn't. I didn't went to the back of the facility, but I saw the left and the right and the front. What is there for them to do once they get there? They get a pillow and a blanket like a prisoner and say, go lay down. You eat at this time. And what are they eating? Are they getting enough to eat? We know the prisoners at Dodge always complain that they don't get enough to eat. So are these girls getting enough to eat? Or somebody got to pick them up in the middle of the night, take them to KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, same thing, Chafette, and bring them back. Why are they able to leave the facility? Who gives them the authorization to take the boys or the girls off the facility? Who comes up there with authority to take possession of them? Is there a logbook for when they come in and when they leave and where they went? Is there a receipt to show that they went where they're supposed to go? I don't even know the protocols for GIS to come in and out the gate. Who is allowed in, who's allowed out, who's to sign who out, who's allowed to sign who in. Where are the records? Records is evidence.
This is Mr. Moore. I know you were trying to make a comment here. Here we have here the child care board. Is what is it? The child care board is saying that there is nothing that they can do for these young ladies. That they that they can't do anything. Steve,
Marcia,
what's your comment?
the child care board cannot do anything. And listen to me good, and I hope a lot of people in Barbados are listening to what I'm going to say. If a parent in Barbados has slapped their child, the child care board will get involved to take that child from the parent and break up the family. The child care board in Barbados is only there to break up the family, to destroy the family unit. This is why they can't do nothing against what's going on at GIS, because they're not intended to do anything apart from destroy the family. People in Barbados need to wake up to realize that what they think is put in place to benefit them is actually put in place for the demise. And this, with the girls, should clearly put that in their eyes. Wake up, Barbados. The government is lying to you. Wilfred Abraham, or Wilfred Abraham, or whoever you care to call it, should be in prison. He's a minister for it. He's not only that, because he's a minister for it, he's doing nothing. He's coming up there, he's blackballing the country with lies, or whitewashing, whatever you care to call it, the country with lies. This man don't even have a child. All of these people in government in Barbados in these positions don't have children. So why the hell are they in these positions? They don't know nothing about children. They don't have no empathy towards children. Why are they in positions over our country and over the children? Can somebody answer that? And I'm lost. Why are Barbadians standing for nothing and falling for everything? Why? Get off the fence, Barbados. With everything that's happening out there in the world, look and see. Today you're here and tomorrow you're gone. Well, stand for something. Stand for the lives of these girls. These girls are more important to the future of Barbados than Wilfred Abraham. He's done. He should be out of the office. Go home. Don't even pass go. Don't collect 100. Don't collect nothing. Leave your pension there as well. Actually return all the money you take from government, take from the people. All of them. Barbados don't have no government. And anybody telling me that I thinking about red and thing, look and see there's no constitution. So how can there be a right act when there's no constitution? The government circumvent that. And that's why they're destroying these young women.
Oh boy. This is more that I'm telling you, this one really you know and you're so right, Steve, that they're quick to come to the home and take out the child. But here it is that the children are saying that the government, whatever they've put in place, it's abusive to them, and they can't do anything about it. They said their hands are tied. So what is your purpose?
If if there's no if there's no mechanism in the government to do good, why is there a mechanism in the government to do evil or do
Mm,
wrong or do bad? What are the evil and wicked people working with? Who gave them the authority to be evil? Because the people that's in authority is not saying, hey, I want 2 doctors on each of those girls and evaluate them. Bring me
mhm,
back the report to see what it is. Then say, what can we do to fix this? That's it. Put the resources in there to do it. Even if you got to go in there and say, well, let me, I guess, hire 2 therapists from America or England or whatever, and we are paying them $250,000 a year to work over at GIS because all the other consultants sitting around there ain't doing nothing. But if you
mm,
help those girls, we can see that you're doing something. Put some money at them. There's enough stolen money. There's enough blood money in Barbados from this COVID fraud to put in their direction.
mm,
Okay? Abrams can go in there because they got 30 and 0 and say, hey, Madam Speaker, GIS and my ministry needs $1 million to hire 4 professionals since there don't seem to be any in Barbados. And we don't want none from Barbados because whoever was here over the last 20, 30 years, you all have failed. Okay? We want somebody from outside to look into these girls, give them the therapy that they need, and put them in the environment that they need to be in. The same way that you can fire the board, you said that there was no wrongdoing. So that means that the board needs to be reinstated because now they got a case to sue the government for firing them for something that wasn't wrong. They didn't do anything. There was
mhm.
no wrongdoing. So why they're still unemployed? And everybody who's in the building who has direct contact with these girls, all of them those are the ones that need to be removed. If the board is not to blame, it got to be the people that work there with them. Remove them. All they do is sit down at the table with a pen and watch them like they're in general population in the prison or something like that. Just watching them. They need all of them and they need to go home. All of them. Not just the board, because you said that the board didn't do anything. Did anybody investigate these workers in there? Right? And the ones who brought the information forward, why are those ones being fired? Those ones also need to go back to work because there was nothing wrong. They're doing everything backward for more
Correct.
pain, more mental anguish. Because now you got the families, you got people now that got to band together to keep an eye on things. And I will tell you and I tell anybody, if any of them came to me for help, they would never go back to any of them places. And when they turn 18, they could go out and say what they got to say.
Mhm.
They have not committed any crimes. So the police shouldn't even be there. What's the police
Exactly.
there for? If I had a kid,
Exactly. And they came back when you do you hear when they turned themselves in. One of the first things that they did before they put them in solitary confinement, they did a vaginal
No, no, no,
examination.
no, 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 no.
The
Marcia,
police
you got
did
it
a
wrong.
vaginal
Marcia,
examination
let
of the
me
girls. Huh?
why
let me jump
would
in
they
there,
do
Marcia.
that?
1 minute, 1 minute. That was a sexual act on a minor. All right.
Well, they did a
It's no
vaginal
vaginal
examination.
nothing.
It's a fact.
Let's put it where it should be. All right. That's a sexual act. It's not the police business, and it should never be nothing to do with the police about checking these girls' private business. That's
Yes. That's the
inhumane.
only, instead of giving them the medical examination or whatever, the examination that they did was to examine their vaginas. That's what they did.
because
But
they're perverts.
that's
They're
what they are.
molesters.
Are
Because
pedos.
the only way that you would even go in that direction is if you ask them, were you raped? Did anybody interfere with you? This, that, the other. And if there's no complaint above the belt, why are you going there? Because they want to find something to blame them for. If they
Yes.
had a sexual act and it already happened and it was not condified, then you'll know that they'll be pregnant any minute. 3 days later, they'll be pregnant, they have a baby, and then you'll pull the DNA. Or if somebody did anything to them, they go up there, and would these girls even know if they're examining them or performing an abortion? They wouldn't even know, because the pregnancy will be the proof of who raped them. So they don't know. That's why they keep going up in there looking to take out anything.
This is why they're covering it up.
That's right.
That alone is a cover up.
Before they help these girls, the first thing you're gonna do is examine their vaginas. Who are you? You think this is slavery? That's what they were doing with the slaves, with the women
Yeah.
in slavery, pushing their hands up in the women.
It's slavery. Barbados is still a plantation, people. So do not think you're free, because these law in office make sure to remind you that you are a slave.
I tell you, I'm speechless, guys, and
Let me ask this question, because I don't know it. If boys ran away and they retrieve the boys, do they check the boys' anuses?
thank you, Alex. What are you checking on the boys? Why are you gonna be checking their vaginas? What would you check on the boys? That's what I'm asking about the women. The women who are going to listen, we're going to close in 4 minutes. But those women who are going to listen to us today, guys, and go back to their regular lives, as though
Well,
they could unhear what they
let
hear
me
today.
let me say something, Marcia. Let me say something, Marcia. This is for all the women in Barbados, right? Whether you got children or not, or even grandchildren. Place yourself in the possession of these three young ladies. Not only place yourself in the position of these three young ladies, you all should be out there now to stand up for these three young ladies. I don't care what, if you're a parent, if you got any dignity, any self-worth. And I'm not calling you useless or anything like that, because right now you're a lot of use to these three girls that they're claiming is on suicide watch. Now, this place can never be any good to put people into a demonic state of fear that these people will want, these young ladies will want to kill themselves. It clearly shows that nothing the government is providing for Barbados right now is not doing any sort of good for the people of Barbados. So when you look at it right now, it looks like the demons are running the show. That's all it is. The bad people. There's no good people running the show in Barbados.
Correct.
They pretend to be good. They give you an illusion, a good talk. But then again, too, the serpent convinced Eve to eat the apple. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what's happening in Barbados. The serpent is convincing the Bajan people to eat the apple, that they are the best for the country. And there's nothing happening good in the country right now. It's all falling apart. And you know what? To me, God is wonderful, because God is showing everybody who really is there, is not there for them. And it's time. This whole lot in there, including the drugged up health minister, all of them, education minister, all of them need to go. They need to put down the tools, walk out the building and say, no, I don't want no part of this, or be locked up. Simple as.
Marcia.
Yes, your final words, Alex, because I am gone into another mode right now. Yeah, this is too much. Go ahead, Alex.
All I'm saying is, if these girls are underage and you're going to tell the public where they are and give an idea of their mental condition, they're underage, they're still minors. This should not be out in the public, right? So where's the report about their examination? Why didn't they come back and say, "Oh, everything is good, this and that"? They're violating even their privacy, but because they're not giving us the findings on everything, they're selective of what they want to put out there to make them look bad, to set them up, because they're underage. They're underage, and they're not giving us the full findings of of their medical condition. So if you're not telling us about how you examined them or what you gave them or what they found or what they didn't find, how we know if they found out that they were pregnant, would they say anything? That is not our business. If they had a disease, they won't tell us. That's not our business. So why would they want to tell us about their medical by saying that they're on suicide watch? All right? They could tell that they're GIS, but they don't tell us what's going on in there. They could tell them that they're on Black Rock, but that don't mean that they have to tell them what's going on in there. Did they give them any injections? Did they treat them bad? Did they threaten them? Because I know the police in Barbados, most of them not too nice. If they was in police cars, I know those officers in there may be talking some junk. Somebody really need to get up in there and talk to these girls before they eliminate them. I do not trust them. I don't care who cares. If it's Mia cares and stay the course, and they believe all of that junk. So we already have proof that they don't care, and the course that they're on against leading everybody to the graveyard.
You
I
know,
don't trust
guys,
them. If
guys,
I
thank
ever get sick in Barbados, I'm getting on a plane and I'm going out of here. I'm not going to any of these facilities, not even for blood pressure. None. None.
listen, guys, thank you all for coming on again today. We are going to Wayne Hart is saying, thank you, Alex. You just made a valid point or observation. I want to thank you all for coming here today, but I know I cannot unhear and unsee what happened today. And all I'm saying is that the public that have put Mr. Abrams there in position need to ask for his resignation because he lied to the public. It's less than 2 weeks that he said all was well at GIS. We now have three girls on suicide watch and one is at QEH. More than 50% of the wards that have been given in your for your keeping, it's on your watch. Something is wrong, Mr. Abrams, and you need to leave that job. You need to put down your pen and paper and pick up your bag, as Alex is saying, and walk out. And if you don't walk out, the people of Barbados need to require your and demand your resignation. You need to leave because you're tone deaf. You're tone deaf. It's not for you. This is not working out. This is a bad job. You need to leave. Need to leave. And to the girls, I don't know how they would ever be able to hear this program. You need to know that there are people out there for you. There are people that are there for you. And we are on your side. We're ready to take your lives. Guys, we are ready to take your lives. Guys, we are for you. When I finish this program today, I'm going to continue to work. Alex will continue to work. Steve will continue to work. And I'm going to ask those women who are listening to me, contact me, please. My number is there, and let us join up with Operation Safe Space. We love to go off on our own and do little splinterings of things, not this one. And we're not going to stand on any political platform about this. We're not going to be any B's and any D's and any whatever colors or nothing. This is not about that. This one is not about that. This is the one that we're saying we're climbing this hill because we're ready to die on this hill. And if that's you, reach out to me. I put the number there and let us link up. Let us link up with the other people that are working in the field, and let us come together and let this be a Mother's Day to remember. Every mother in Barbados, this Mother's Day, we're going to make it count. We're going to make it count because they're not our biological children, but they're in trouble. They're in trouble, and we're going to make this count. Thank you all so much, guys. Have a good Saturday, and let us keep working when we get off of this live. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye bye.